Alright, ladies and gentlemen, someone made a comment about a Farrah Fawcett video I put out talking about Farrah Fawcett's life. Now, Farrah Fawcett is a celebrity that I love, right? Farrah Fawcett is phenomenal. I love Farrah Fawcett. So when I made that comment, I wasn't trying to be rude. I wasn't trying to be vindictive or anything like that. I think Farrah Fawcett is awesome, but the thing was she was an alcoholic, which which isn't a big deal. Some people do get into that, and that's what they do. Some people get addicted to certain substances, and that's awful for them, right? That's not a good situation. And she had a really tough life. That doesn't take away the fact that I liked her very much and thought she was phenomenal. It just means that she's had a tough life, and she did have an addiction. And for me, as far as it goes, I commented on that, but obviously I meant good things. I think it's hard to deal with an addiction. Being an alcoholic is a very tough thing to deal with. So, I know it's not easy. She had a tough life. She was worried about how she was always on made-for-TV movies and never reaching an actual movie, a really good movie, and getting all the scripts for a good movie. So that really troubled her. And then her marriage was really tough. There was domestic abuse and all that, and abuse of the children in the relationship, or the child. I'm not sure she had more than one child or not, but so I would never like. I only say these things when I compare myself to a celebrity. It's not that I'm saying they're bad or their tough situation makes their life worse than mine or anything like that. I'm just trying to say that I'm just trying to make people feel all people feel, that they're human, and they may not feel like Farrah Fawcett, but Farrah Fawcett had a tough life, so maybe their life is better, right? So just because you're not, that's what I try to do to inspire people. I do not mean intentionally to harm people or judge people or anything like that. I think if people know Farrah Fawcett's life was a difficult life and she had a really hard time, I think that would make people feel. I think that would make people feel more. They wouldn't be like, I hate Farrah Fawcett. They wouldn't say that. They would say more like they would love Farrah Fawcett still. They would just understand that her life was tough, and that if they've gone through stuff, they would say, hey, I've gone through stuff too. I guess Farrah Fawcett is human, just like all of us. It puts celebrities off the pedestal, makes them feel more human, so that other people can relate and not feel so bad about their predicaments, right? Because if you have someone in your family that's an alcoholic, it's a tough situation for sure. And to have Farrah Fawcett go through that and live the life that she led, it makes people feel better, in my opinion. That's why I talk about it. And I also talk about it in terms of my life being good because I really believe my life is way better than a lot of celebrities because a lot of them do these things. They're addicted to substances or gambling or whatever. So my life is not like that. So instead of being hard, that person was hard on me, and they were like saying, why would you're disgracing Farrah Fawcett? But some people put celebrities too much on a pedestal and think they can do no wrong. And not that I'm saying that's the case. I love Farrah Fawcett, right? Don't get me wrong. She's phenomenal. She's great. What she's accomplished is incredible. Her performing is amazing. She had a really good talent. She was a really good talent. And I would never judge anyone that's an alcoholic or anything. It's a tough life to lead for sure. I was just trying to point out that, if you don't feel good compared to Farrah Fawcett, remember that this happened, kind of thing. But I'm not trying to diss Farrah Fawcett. I would never. You know how much I love celebrities. I talk only in high points about them. I always share good points about them because I love celebrities. I would never feel that it's necessary to downgrade a celebrity to make me feel good because I'm going to be a celebrity myself, right? I just kind of wanted to say, it just shocked me. It was shocking to me to see. And of course, I love Farrah Fawcett. I wish that never happened for her, right? Like, it's tough for her. She had a really hard decline, and she had cancer too, which is very tough for anybody. Nobody likes cancer. It's the worst thing in the world. If I had cancer, I'd be very upset. Obviously, I'd be dying, so that'd be really terrible, right? So, at the end of the day, I wasn't trying to and I think people know that I'm very friendly. I never criticize. I try not to criticize. I try to be rude, and I try purposely to have a channel that has that atmosphere, so people know my aura is a positive aura. I'm not going to be critical. I'm not going to be rude, but I do shed light on certain things only because it makes people feel human. It makes people feel like, hey, my life is. And if your life is like that, at least you know that you're not feeling down in the dumps because your life is not is because you're like, oh, I can connect to that star. They dealt with it too, and I feel better about myself. I really don't think what I was saying in the video was too harmful or negative. So I don't know why that person commented, but just to say that that about it, because I really feel that, sometimes even as somebody that's an alcoholic or whatever, they might be totally abusive to everyone, and people would still put them on a pedestal and be like they can do no wrong. And yes, I agree. I feel the same way. But I mean, at the end of the day, if they're harming someone or making someone hurt because they're addicted to substances, then it's obviously not an easy thing for everyone in the situation. But we all are at fault for that. We all put celebrities on a pedestal. I know for sure I do. I always put celebrities on a pedestal. I would feel like they're great, and I don't even know what goes on in their lives. I have no clue. I don't know what's actually happening in their lives. So I'm like, they're awesome, they're this, they're that, but who knows what they're actually doing? You know, I mean, if we all knew what, and I mean, the fact that they're so talented and giving of that is enough about that. But I mean, and they're so good already. You can just tell by their talents. But at the end of the day, some of them are not very good people. And we don't know which ones because we don't meet them. But and some of us do meet them, but we can tell then. But I mean, some of them are not very good people, and some people lie about how good they actually are. So we don't know, even if people say they're not good, we don't know if that's true. So who knows about all that stuff? It's all a mystery. All I was trying to do, like I said, was just put Farrah Fawcett in a light where it's like, yes, we all love Farrah Fawcett. We know she was so beautiful and super talented, and we all give her that that praise because she is that way. But she did have a hard life, and it's important for people to recognize if you have a hard life too. You can see that Farrah Fawcett did too, and make you feel better. That's why said it, not because I was trying to compare myself to her, because I'm like, my life is not like that. I don't believe in drama. I don't believe in drinking or anything. I mean, I was almost made it to Hollywood before because I had been an extra in a film, and if I would have been discovered then, I would have been discovered. I've done different things like the America's Got Talent audition, and so I've done the X Factor audition too, and didn't. And I may not have made it either time. Now the thing is, if you don't make it, you don't go to resort to drinking. If you're doing made for TV movies and you always wanted to be something popular because you did a really popular TV show, I understand that would be very difficult. But some people don't even get on for made for TV movies, right? So why be so hard on yourself for that? Some people would never, right? So I mean, I just wanted to shed light on the situation, have people see, yes, celebrities are human. Yes, sometimes we feel better than them because they might go through this thing where they have a tough time. People might say to me, "Hey, you didn't make it on the America's Got Talent show," or maybe I will, I don't know, but they're like, "You didn't make it on America's Got Talent show, you're no good," right? But to me, I would never see it that way. I just feel like it's every failure you learn from, everything you make a mistake on, you learn from, and I really believe I'm going to be a star at the end of all this. So. I mean, I would never resort to drinking or plastic surgery just because they didn't make a show. Maybe that's not the right show. And Lady Gaga, all the people say they got rejected. Meryl Streep had been trying to be in TV for 8 years, or had been trying to be on movies in 8 years, and she finally got in. Then she got an Oscar, and it's like she was told she was too ugly for movies, and then she got on. And it's kind of nice to see that people do make their dreams come true despite negativity, despite struggles, and you know, Farrah Fawcett was one of the rare ones who was already famous, and she couldn't make it famous again necessarily. I mean, for TV movies, what's wrong with that, right? But she was like, I want to do something else, and she couldn't get into it, so she started drinking. And I mean, for me, I never would do something like that. I mean, even if somebody said you're no good, you suck, you can't do anything, I wouldn't believe them, right? So that's just how I am. But some people are like that, right? And they push through and they go through the momentum and struggles. They momenticize into the struggles so that they can actually make it in the world instead of focusing on the negative, right? So anyway, thank you for watching. Bye now. Bye everyone.